Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on where you are and what time you're watching this video. No long fancy intro, but I just wanted to say subscribing is free and it helps the channel a ton. So if you found this video to be entertaining and helpful in any way, please consider subscribing. And with that, let's get into the video. So in the most recent patch, we got these runes that you can see here. And I'm noticing a lot of people saying that the runes seem really complicated, or they're not entirely sure what to do. I mean, they just came out. So what I wanted to do is just make sort of a quick and easy to understand guide on how you can utilize these runes and how you can farm these runes in the most efficient way possible so you don't end up wasting time, because these runes are going to be a pretty lengthy grind, and I would try and tackle it more of a marathon than a sprint, in that it's probably going to be really easy to burn yourself out trying to get these as best as possible. So I'm going to try and show you the easiest way to go through and get them while sort of maximizing your efficiency and minimizing the amount of effort you put in, for lack of a better term. So when you're accessing these runes, you have two options. The first one is to, in your inventory, go to this thing at the bottom that says Rune Management right here. This will open up the Rune Management screen, and you can drag in whatever you are looking to manage runes on. In this case, Karnax's Netherbow. The second option you have is you can click on your item here, and then at the very bottom we have this new button called Rune Management, and it basically brings you to the same thing except the weapon's already selected. So now that we have the piece of equipment in here, we need to decide what rune we want to put in here. This is going to vary depending on what your class is and what you're trying to do, PvE, PvP, whatever the case may be. But what you're going to want to do is select this rune synergy list, and you're going to see all these different options here. We've got strength, dexterity, wisdom, perception, bonus damage, damage reduction, and then that sort of repeats itself into the uncommon level, and then the rare level, and then the epic level. I think it's called epic, right? Yeah, epic level. So this order, in my case, I'm looking for perception. So whether it's rare, epic, uncommon, or common, perception is always blue rune, red rune, yellow rune. So now that I've determined that I want perception, I need to unlock the rune sockets based on this order. This order is important, essentially foundational to your runes going forward. So again, in my case, I'm looking for perception. So I'm going to unlock blue or defense rune first. Then I'm going to unlock red or attack rune second. And then I'm going to unlock yellow or support rune third. Now at the bottom, you'll notice that there are some runes that are highlighted and some runes that are grayed out. In this case, these are the runes that I can put into my piece of equipment. And these runes I cannot. So you can see this is like a neck rune, a ring rune, a belt rune, it looks like, and you can see that based on the little icon in the corner, and then this sword and shield is actually a weapon rune. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to fill these rune slots that I unlocked. Because I unlocked them in this order, when I fill them, I will get this buff. So in my case, I think the best one I have right now is heavy attack chance. I'm going to put that in there. Then probably magic endurance in here, and skill damage resistance in here. And you will see that I have unlocked perception 3 and shield block penetration chance 7.5%. Now what I want to mention here is that these are not my best runes, and also they are not leveled up to 60. However, you should still unlock your rune sockets and fill them, whether it's with uncommon, common, rare, whatever, because you still get this synergy no matter what. And then as you continue to progress your runes, which we'll talk about in a minute, you can continue to refill this up, and eventually you'll get to the end game runes that you want, again, depending on your build. So then the question becomes, well, how do you get these runes in the first place? You can get them in 4 main ways. The first being these new dimensional trials. Every time you complete these, you will get a rune chance chest. From tier 1, you get all commons. From tier 2, you get a mix of uncommon and common. From tier 3, you get all uncommon. From tier 4, you get a mix of rare and uncommon. And then tier 5 and beyond, you get all rares. We currently do not have epic runes in the game, at least on global. I'm not sure about KR. In addition, you can also, as you complete these and get a score, you can use this score to claim these rewards depending on what your score is. You can see when I hit 2,500, I claimed this reward. At 5K, claimed this reward, and so on and so on and so on. The second main way you get these runes is if you go to the timetable. You will see if you go into some of the events that under performance rewards, we now have a rune chance bundle. Similarly, the third way, if you go under world bosses, under conquest reward, we now have a rune chance bundle. And the last way is through your weekly missions. Your co-op dungeons will, once these levels are completed, you will have a 50 rune chest, a 100 rune chest, and a 150 rune chest that you can claim as your weekly reward. So then we need to talk about how you actually level up these runes, because you can see some of these runes for me are level 14, some of them are level 6, some of them are level 4, some of them are level 1. And what Throne has chosen to do is use what they call a watermark system, which is a really fancy way to say the game remembers every different rune's level, and then you level up based on that. And the way that you level up is by obtaining more runes. So for the purposes of levels, the rarity doesn't really matter because all the runes, so for example, this is magic heavy attack evasion on a defense rune. Whether this is blue or green or gray, it will always be level 3. The way that you level up this magic heavy attack evasion defense rune is by getting another magic heavy attack evasion defense rune, whether it's uncommon, common, rare, or epic, which again, we don't have right now. However, you have caps. So commons cap out at level 20, greens cap out at level 40, cap out at level 40, and blues cap out at level 60, which currently is the maximum on global. So what you essentially want to do is farm uncommon runes, all the different types, up until all your runes are level 20. Then you want to farm from level 20 up to level 40 with all uncommon runes, because then you cap out at level 40. Then you want to farm all your runes from level 40 to level 60 using rare chests or rare runes, and then beyond that, we are essentially capped for now. The way that you would do this is by basically going through the dimensional trials. So you basically want to spam tier 1 until all your runes are level 20. Then you want to spam tier 3 until all your runes are level 40. Then you want to spam tier 5 so all your runes are until all your runes are level 60. Now you'll notice that I have runes that are blue and level 14, and I just told you that you should probably start at level 40 and go up. I was just doing runs with the homies and trying out all the different tiers, but in a perfect world, and what you should be doing is running, again, the tier 1s till all your runes are 20, then the tier 3s until all your runes are 40, and then the tier 5s until all your runes are 60. So once you have your equipment synergized, whether it is your best or not, which it probably won't be for quite a while, like for example, this isn't my best, what do you do with all your runes that you essentially don't need that are trash? Well, you're going to go into this new material transmutation thing, and you're going to essentially dump the runes that you don't want into this chest. Let me just click through all these. And what you're trying to do is get to conversion tier 4. You see that this is 3, and I'm at 34,000 out of 68,000. If we go in here, you would see right now, if I transformed, I could transform into, or I guess transmutate, into a 63% chance of getting 1 rare rune chance chest, or a 37% chance at getting 2 of them. If I got it all the way up to tier 4, I have a 42% chance of getting a rare rune chest, 1 of them, a 57 of getting 2, and a 0.012 of getting a rare chaos selection chest. So more RNG for those of you who love RNG so much. Now, something important I want to note here is the rarity of the rune doesn't matter when determining how much conversion points you're going to get. It's actually the level. So if I put in a level 1, I'm going to go from 238 to 248, so that's about 10,000. If I put in a level 6, I'm going to go from 238 to 250, so that's 12,000. And if I put in a level 14, I'm going to go from 238 to 252, which is 14,000. If I was to put in a level 14 common, it would still give me 14,000. The rarity doesn't matter. It is the level that matters. So basically, to sum it up, the first thing you want to do is go into rune management and unlock your rune sockets in the order of which you desire to get the synergy. So in my case, I want a perception, so that's blue, red, yellow. So I unlock the blue socket here, the red socket here, and the yellow socket here. This costs like a little bit over 1 million Lucent, and then just repeat that for all your different gear. Then you're going to throw whatever runes that you have in there, even though I would almost guarantee at this point it's not going to be your best in slot runes. It's at least going to give you this rune synergy. So in my case, I'm getting 3 perception and shield, block, penetration, chance 7.5. Even though these are not my best runes, my max level runes, I'm at least getting these benefits and this benefit. Then you want to be leveling up your runes by farming. You want to start by farming tier 1s, getting all your runes up to level 20, where the common rarity maxes out. Then you can up it to tier 3, do the same thing, farm all your runes up until they're level 40 this time, and then that's where uncommons cap out. And then do the same thing, farm all your runes up to level 60 through tier 5, and then that's where, as of right now, we are capped out entirely. And along the way, any of the runes that you don't care for, that you don't need, that are basically just trash, throw them in the material transmutation machine, I guess you would call this thing, and get rid of them by converting them to points until you get to a 4 conversion tier, and then transform into whatever type of runes that you're looking for. Probably attack to start, and then as you start dialing it in to find which runes you actually need to finish out your final gear set. And the last thing I want to do is just leave you with a couple general tips and tricks. The first being, if you have 2 blue runes and a green rune, you will get the synergy from the green rune. Same if you had 2 green runes and a gray rune, you would get this gray synergy. Your synergy depends on the lowest, not level, ranking, I guess you would call them. Rarity is what I should be saying. lowest rarity of rune that you have in the socket. So in this case, I have all blue, so I'm getting the blue synergy. But yeah, if I had blue, gray, gray, I would get the gray one. If I had blue, blue, gray, I would get the gray one. If I had blue, blue, green, I would get the green one, and so on. It depends on the lowest level of synergy. The second thing I want to mention is that you can change these at any time. So for example, I did mine in the order of perception, but let's say that, oh, you want to change it to wisdom. You can always go in and, for example, if I wanted to change this, wisdom would be yellow-red. So if I wanted to change this to yellow, I can go ahead and do so. Just click on this little button. I don't know, it looks like a hammer, kind of. And then you can just change it as you see fit. So you are not locked in to these rune socket orderings permanently. You can just change them as you find that your needs change. Another important note or tip or whatever, you're going to accumulate a bunch of these different selection chests for various runes over your different grind and from different things. I would recommend that you hold on to these for now, especially the rare ones, because if I, for example, open them now, I'm going to be getting a spread of runes between level 1 and like level 14, as I haven't leveled up a lot of my runes yet. However, if I hold on to these until all my runes become level 40 plus, then when I open this, I'm going to be getting level 40 and potentially higher runes at that time, because all my runes are leveled up to that point. Same thing with uncommon chests. You would want to wait until level 20 or higher to open those, because you don't want to be getting those lower level runes when you could be getting those higher level runes by farming out the commons, as we mentioned, and then so on and so on.